I haven't been able to sleep thinking of what happened to Charlie Kirk, and there's this something that has been pounding on my mind over and over again. I think we can all agree on that this is not the work of a lone gunman. That is just not possible. This must have been a coordinated attack of maybe one sniper and at least one or two decoys of what we saw in my first analysis of what we know of the shooter. But if it was not a lone gunman, and why it can't be a lone gunman? Because you could say, oh, maybe that was just a crazy guy from the left. You could say that. Why hasn't the FBI captured him yet? Why haven't the Utah police, anybody, security from the university, anybody found anything about this person? How could this person just disappear? So that's, I don't think this was just one guy. I think there was a coordinated attack. I'm 100% sure that this was a group. And the other thing that I'm pretty sure is that this group, or whoever hired these people, they wanted to send a message. What kind of message did they want to send? Well, first of all, it was a very public setting. They really, really wanted this to be seen by millions. They wanted the gruesome video that was obviously going to be shared, because there were many people recording, as in every event. We were recording Charlie at the moment that this happened. That was going to leak eventually, and people were going to literally see what happened for themselves. They wanted this. It's not the same like if Charlie is ambushed in a dark alley or something like that, or on the street, which you don't have immediately recording of what happened. Somebody just comes, shots at Charlie, and nobody has video of that. They wanted video of the event to be all over social media. That was one. The second one is what most people are saying, that Charlie was not a radical. Many people, of course, for the left, anybody is a Nazi, anybody is a radical. You see that as, he was a racist. No, but he was not a radical. There are many of us that are way more radical than what Charlie Kirk was. So that was another part of the message. Maybe you are moderate. Maybe all that you do is debate students at the universities. You will get killed. We will shoot you. We will silence you. Another part of the message, which is one of the most disturbing and heartbreaking things, is that Charlie's family was with him at that event. His wife and his two kids. I don't know the exact circumstances of where they were at that moment. I want to believe that they didn't directly witness what happened to Charlie. That would be the best case scenario. I really hope that was the case. Because I couldn't believe how can those poor kids be able to process that. That's not something that you can process at that age. And really, my heart goes to his wife. So, what is the message that this group, the ones who planned this, the one who got all the logistics, the angle, the setting, who studied everything, what was their message? Their message was, even if you are a moderate, even if all that you do is to debate, we're going to take you out. We're going to silence you in the most spectacular way possible in front of your family. It is like a mafia execution. It's like a cartel execution with steroids. Like, we're going to kill you in front of your family, in front of millions. And there are going to be recordings everywhere of your literal death. They want to instill fear on whoever does the same as Charlie Kirk. Because nobody can take Charlie Kirk's place. But many people are very vocal, of course, are very vocal conservatives. And I can understand that so many conservatives are really worried right now of their safety. I'm going to make a video exposing all the people that are tens of thousands who were literally cheering the moment Charlie Kirk was shot. In fact, the most disturbing thing is that there were people in the public, students of the university who were listening to that, left-wing students, libtards, who just seconds after Charlie Kirk was shot, they were just raising their hands in the air and cheering and celebrating that he had been shot. Seconds after he was shot, they were celebrating right in front of him. You have to imagine the kind of cancer we are dealing with here. This is a mind virus like no other I have ever seen. And they're all exposing themselves everywhere, on Reddit, on X, on TikTok. It's gruesome to watch how many people were cheering that Charlie Kirk had been shot and essentially that he was dead. So it's not like, oh, we want to just take him out. There are way more easier ways to take someone out. So many opportunities. This is way too complicated. This is way too, it needs a lot of planning, especially, and this is the important part, the FBI has not been able to catch the one who did it, the one who pulled the trigger. Now you tell me, how is that possible? What level of failure is that? At this point, I will assume that either they don't get the guy at all, or they get him in a body bag. That's the two options. That's the two options. I really don't want to think that if they catch him, then everything about him will be immediately, his life, his house, his bank accounts, his social media accounts, everything will be scrubbed clean before anybody has any chance to take a look at it. Because I can understand that happened with the Butler sniper. I can understand that because, well, Biden was in charge, the level of corruption. That is understandable, but how could that happen now? How would you explain this cleaning up everything before the public has any right to find out? By the way, we really don't know much about that guy either. So the message is very clear. We're going to kill you in front of millions in this case. We're going to do it in front of your family, and we're going to do it regardless of if your stance is soft, hard, it doesn't matter. And we're going to do it while embarrassing the FBI. But at least so far, let's see what happens in the next 24 hours. So again, this is a message that they are sending. And the message, the intention is to stoke fear on everyone. And my obligation from this corner of the internet is first and foremost to ask you to stay safe. to make sure to not fall for provocations, because we are already seeing it everywhere. People that want to provoke us into doing stupid things. And people are asking me, Jesus, you're telling us to become a radical. What does that mean? And I think that Father Calvin Robinson said it better than me. How to become a real radical: go to church, have babies, live a righteous life. That is the first step. That is our greatest vengeance over these demons that want to destroy everything that humanity has built, because they have no other thing to do. That is their sole purpose of their rotten lives. They cannot be called humans. I don't consider them humans. Be careful out there. Be really careful with any protests. Be careful in any gatherings. Be careful in any sort of meeting, because they will be out there wanting for you to react in a way that you're the one who's gonna regret it. I would love to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Bottle Language Guy. Much love and bliss.